incredible numbers. He thrives against the Yankees. He did it this year in the regular season. And you think, well, there'll be a drop-off. Nope. In the postseason, he's been even better. For the Toronto Blue Jays, they've exceeded their offensive output that you couldn't even imagine when this series started. And they are on fire. And if they continue, they're going to be really tough to beat.
It's hard to believe that these teams tied in the regular season. The Yankees also won 94 games with the top offense in baseball, but that group's been missing so far.
Yeah, you say timing is everything in baseball, right? Well, in the regular season, the New York Yankees were the best offensive team, and they just beat up pitchers. They hit a lot of home runs, and you could see that. The 274 of them. And in the postseason, yes, you face better pitching. But against the starters, they have done nothing in this series. And that's got to change. They've got to find a way to get a leadoff hitter on and create some stress. Right now, there has been no stress for the Toronto Blue Jays. That's what Aaron Boone's offense can do to you if you get off to a good start, and that's what they're hoping tonight has.
Yeah, as amazing as the offense has been for the Blue Jays, how about the starting pitching? Kevin Gausman in the first game and Trey Savage in game 2 with the 11 Ks. It'll be Shane Bieber, the former Cy Young Award winner, going here in game 3, trying to pitch the Blue Jays into the championship series. They dominated at Rogers Center, as they did during the regular season. Now it's a different story here in the Bronx, where the Yankees were 4-2 against the Jays. They'll need to win the next 2 to extend this season, get it back to Toronto for a game 5. For now, it's game 3 coming up next.
Into the light, breaking all the chains of pain to see what's mine.
October is a wonderful time of year. That is, as long as you like pressure, drama, and stakes that rise with every moment. One team grapples with the weight of history on the brink of another disappointing October exit.
Times when you go through adversity, you got to be able to handle it and not crumble.
Facing an opponent brimming with confidence.
Varsho drives in. It's out of here again.
Blue Jays, Yankees. Game 3 starts now.
And it starts on a picture-perfect night here in the Bronx. Blue Jays and Yankees ready to play game 3. The crowd revved up, ready to make some noise, trying to pitch their Yankees a day deeper into this postseason. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. You and John spoke about the impact of Vlad Guerrero Jr. in this series. His 2 big moments, first inning home run in game 1, grand slam in game 2, were arguably more memorable than anything Aaron Judge has done in 8 postseasons. It would be wrong to say Judge is struggling in these playoffs. He's 8 for 18 with 2 walks. But his biggest hit so far is a double, no home runs. And in his biggest at-bat of this series, bases loaded, none out in game 1, he struck out. With the Yankees facing elimination, there would be no better time than now for Judge to deliver his own signature October moment.
And he takes the field in front of this sellout crowd. We take a look at today's same-game parlay, available now on FanDuel. You need Vlad to get an RBI. He's got 6 of them over the first 2 games of this series. Shane Bieber's average is about 5 strikeouts, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. just 1 for 8 so far in this series, trying to get him going as well. On to Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Carlos Rodon taking the ball for the New York Yankees. Top 5 in the league in strikeouts this year. We've seen how hard this Blue Jays lineup is to collect those against. We say thanks to Google Cloud for powering these real-time insights. 18 wins for Rodon this year, second only to Max Fried. He's the hardest guy in the league to get a hit against, but he's trying to slow down this hit machine offense.
Yeah, I'll say if he gets more than those strikeouts required, he's going to be in for a good game, because you mentioned it, hard to strike out the Blue Jays, and he is going to rely on a lot of different ways to get him out. He doesn't throw a ton of strikes, and he's facing a challenge team that presents a challenge, I should say, by the fact that they don't swing and miss a lot. So look for his changeup and his slider to be key if he's going to have success tonight.
Second straight time he's taken the ball with the Yankees facing elimination. He pitched game 2 of the wild card round against Boston, went into the 7th inning, gave up 3 runs and a no decision, and really has been good for the last 2 months. 10 consecutive starts where he's pitched into the 6th and given up 3 or fewer runs. The lineup that'll face off with in game 3 looks like this. A postseason record 23 runs scored over the first 2 games of this series. It's Springer, Schneider, and Guerrero. Alejandro Kirk, 2 home runs in the first game of this series, drove in another run in game 2. Dalton Varsho had the best game that nobody's talking about, tied a postseason record with 4 extra base hits. Ernie Clement got the scoring started with a home run. Santander's back in there with Kiner Falefa and Andres Jimenez. It's the tallest home plate umpire in baseball, Jordan Baker, at 6 feet 7 inches back there. The only umpire that can go eye to eye with Aaron Judge when he comes up to the plate. He'll call balls and strikes with the crew chief, Dan Bellino, at second. Well, the Blue Jays 1 win away from their first trip to the championship series in 9 years. The Yankees trying to come back from the brink again. Off we go with a strike on George Springer.
2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, change-up, slider, and George Springer having a monster season. The biggest thing for Rodon is the fact that he has to pitch the first inning like tonight. I say it all the time against elimination. It's not just another regular season game. You can't approach it the same. You're less room for error for your manager to leave you in the game. You have to pitch each inning like the 9th inning and just hope your team gets on top so that you can create some momentum.
Here comes the 1-1 to Springer, and it's inside, ball 2, and it's up and down this lineup. Hot hitters that are feeling confident and look way too comfortable. If I'm a Yankees pitcher looking at these guys, they look like they're in a rocking chair.
Yeah, a little bit more of that inside fastball followed by a changeup away. You're going to see that, but you got to get them off the plate.
Springer launches a fly ball down the left field line. It's hooking. Foul.
And it's not meaning you've got to hit somebody when you can't get them out, but you have to make them uncomfortable, to your point. And when the hitters top to bottom are having a field day, that means A, you're not making enough good pitches. B, they're not worried about anything coming in so they can cover the plate away.
Field day, that's more home runs than strikeouts
in
a 2-game stretch. Another 2-2 and a strikeout to begin for Carlos Rodon.
Carlos has learned how to manage that intensity. He came out last year against the Royals and spent so much energy in the first couple innings he ran out of gas. So that you learn from experience, and that experience is going to pay off well if he can get 6 innings or more for Aaron Boone.
32-year-old veteran, the best season he's had with the Yankees. He's inside with the first pitch to Davis Schneider. His first season was just a disaster by all measures. He was injured for a lot of the year, had an ERA around 7, up and down last year, but he won 16 games. An all-star this year. 1 ball and 1 strike on Davis Schneider.
That's the pitch right there at a 50% clip, which is not great for first pitch strikes, even though it's the second pitch. He's got to get that pitch for strikes. Backdoor slider. And that will go a long way keeping these hitters who are on every pitch, it seems like, at bay. They'll have to trust that, okay, I can't just, you know, he's going to have the fade changeup away, but that backdoor slider is going to be huge.
And that's a arsenal that has changed through the years. Used to be just fastball slider. He's added the changeup. He's added the sinker. Much less predictable than he was when he got to New York. Here's his 1-2.
I was watching some film on this at bat, and Schneider had an epic 14 pitch at bat, where on 3-2, I think there was a point where he fouled off 7 in a row.
Yeah, these guys have made him work. Numbers against Toronto not very good for Rodon. Backdoor breaking pitch just misses. He's made 5 starts against the Blue Jays since coming to the Yankees. He's 1-3 with a 6.66 ERA. Davis Schneider said before the game, they asked him, what is the plan against Rodon? What are you trying to do? He said, we're trying to make him sweat. The lefty's payoff pitch is taken for ball 4. And this very aggressive lineup, Davis Schneider is one of the exceptions, one of the top walkers in the American League. And he has one for the first base runner.
Well, this is the matchup, right? This is all eyes on Vladimir Guerrero and what he's done here, what he's done against Rodon. I mean, the numbers are glaringly in his favor.
10 out of 17 in his career against Carlos Rodon. How in the world are you pitching it?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to sometimes give the man his due and just take singles to right field. At one point, you've got to be able to get him off the plate and throw something in and then fade away if you can make a good changeup. But he stays on the ball so well, it's hard.
The 1-0. There you go inside.
Yeah, and that's an effective pitch. Now, if he can hit with an off-speed behind in the count, 2-0, that'll help. But what you don't want to miss is off-speed middle in with the type of swing that he has. That helps him lift the ball. Otherwise, he's a line drive gap hitter with his swing.
On this 2-0, he swings, and it's a fly ball to deep center field. Grisham's going back. He's done it again. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has the Blue Jays in front in the first inning. His 17th career home run at Yankee Stadium. Unbelievable, this guy.
Well, as soon as I spit it out of my mouth, you can't leave an off-speed pitch over the plate. This off-speed pitch is exactly what he did. He sat back. Watch where this pitch is. Off-speed center cut. That swing and that pitch is the reason why you can lift it. He's not a launch angle type guy. He's not going to lift a lot of balls in the air. But that pitch and location helps him get the ball in the air and right away, right on script.
He has homered in all 3 games of this postseason. Alejandro Kirk downstairs. And yeah, it's the bat to ball, it's all the hits, it's the avoiding the strikeouts. But where the Blue Jays have gone to another level is with the power. Beating the Yankees at their own game, out-homering New York 9-1. Kirk's got 2 of those bombs. On a strike on the Jays catcher.
It's like you're in a tough situation if you're facing a team this hot. In one hand, you can get a lot of quick outs on the first pitch if you make a good one. In the other, you don't want to live in the strike zone. So making really, really good pitches is tough against a team like this because it puts pressure on you, and not to mention you're down 2 games to none. And there's the numbers. This is shocking to a lot of people.
It is just punch after punch after punch, and the Blue Jays have not let the Yankees up for air.
You know who it's not shocking to? Toronto. It's just a little bit more than what maybe you could expect.
Yeah.
But they're not intimidated. They're just not. And this team has flourished at the right time under that leadership and a collective philosophy offensive that is along the lines of the Milwaukee Brewers.
On a 2-2, Kirk chops it down the line, foul.
And so just so people can understand, why can a team have regular season numbers and then maybe not mirror that in the postseason? Well, you're facing different pitchers, you're facing different guys, and you can kind of slug them to death. When you get to the postseason, you got to be mechanically on, and you better take advantage of mistakes because the pitching is too good. You're not facing 4s and 5s. And so the Yankees in the last couple of years, when they go bad, it's because they don't make enough contact.
And when you look at a team like the Blue Jays, the best contact team in baseball, you hope and you are confident that that's going to translate in the postseason, and it has. It's even been amplified in these 3 games with the power on top of it. Ryan McMahon with an easy play, 2 gone, and we look back at the 3rd home run from Vlad Jr.
I mean, location, 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 and this thing is center cut, and his flow right now at the plate, he could be at Yellowstone Park and he's going to feel good, but he's at his place where he has thrived. And right now, that's the best recipe for a team that's up. Jump on the team that's down early, create as much pressure for the fans to take them out, and for Aaron Boone to have to make decisions.
Strike on Dalton Varsho. They didn't even give the Yankees a chance to take advantage of moving home and getting the crowd, keeping the crowd in the game. Varsho cues it foul, and it's 0-2. How about this guy having an all-time game, ties a postseason record with 4 extra base hits, and nobody's even talking about it because of so many other things that happened in that game. But Dalton Varsho, 2 home runs and 2 doubles in game 2.
So they never changed it to a triple, huh?
They never did. I'm sorry. You keep working on it, though.
Well,
Varsho, there was 4 extra base hits in game 2 after he had 2 of them in the first game. So he's sitting at 6 for 8, all extra bases so far.
I felt like tonight's game was going to have a lot of runs. It's sure shaping up that way right now.
Varsho's down swinging and bookend K's in this first inning for Carlos Rodon. But in the middle of it, as it has often been, Vlad Jr. Doesn't matter whether it's Toronto or New York, he's brought his best bat. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. said coming into this postseason, I want to be Joe Carter. I want to be talked about like him. Yeah, I've done it in the regular season, but I want to be a postseason legend. And he's off to a pretty darn good start with 3 home runs in as many games. Can the Yankees lineup come to life in time to save their season? It is the same lineup as in game 2. Aaron Boone said he wrestled over who to play at first base. He decides to stick with Ben Rice instead of Paul Goldschmidt. Just could not turn away from Rice's chance to change this game with one swing with his power. So Rice stays in there. And bats clean up against Shane Bieber. And it's not often, John, you have a Cy Young Award winner who's available at the deadline. But this was a tricky case because he was coming off Tommy John surgery. Hadn't pitched in 500 days, but they got him, and he's been pretty darn good.
He has, and he's got that short arm delivery where his fastball plays more than his velocity. Good curveball. You see the slider and the changeup. And the biggest thing for Shane Bieber is going to be command. And some days after Tommy John, you're just completely connected. And some days it's just not there. And that's the process he's going through. Oh, by the way, in the postseason.
Grisham grounds this one along first for Guerrero. Takes it to the bag for the first out. So the leadoff man retired by Shane Bieber. And up comes Aaron Judge. On base more than 50% of the time in this postseason, but he does not have a home run. He's only driven in 2. When the Yankees have faced elimination, he's gone deep 5 times in his career. That's tied with Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra for the franchise record.
He has personally struggled against Bieber, but that was earlier when Shane was at the top of his game before Tommy John.
Kenny was talking about it. Judge, perhaps one more chance here to make his mark, to come up with a big swing. But like he was saying, you know, I'm doing what they're giving me, passing the baton. Yeah, Judge, you'd love to have him make a bigger impact, but he can't do it himself. Nobody else around him has done anything either. Ropes a base hit into center field. That is the first base runner of the game for New York. Now can they follow it up and do something?
Right. And I will piggyback saying nobody pitches Aaron Judge in the postseason like they do in the regular season. It's totally different. So sometimes it gets magnified in an adverse way. And I think for Aaron Judge, you keep giving him opportunities, he's going to explode. And the problem is, and you mentioned it, he needs extra guys in the lineup to do their thing so he can continue to be the man.
Well, if there's been one guy that has done something, it's the next guy here in Cody Bellinger. This time gets under it in center field, Varsho. Bieber gets Bellinger on 1 pitch.
It's typically what happens, and I think I say it every postseason, but when a pitcher gets the lineup card, he circles a guy. And one reason he circles the guy is he goes, that guy's not beating me. Now, if the bases are loaded, it's kind of tough, but the bases haven't been loaded a lot, and really there hasn't been a lot of traffic on the starting pitchers, and once they leave, the Yankees have scored some runs.
Here's Ben Rice. Grounded to second. Counter for Leffa. Can't get it. And an error on counter for Leffa opens the door for the Yankees here in the first. This is one of the best defensive teams in baseball, and that's one of the reasons Counter for Leffa's in the lineup for his glove, but it lets him down right here.
Yeah, he did a good job blocking it with his chest. The ball took a hop, but then he couldn't locate it in time to make the throw. Watch this top spin right there. Hits him in the chest, and then he couldn't pick it up. And once he didn't do that, and if you're looking for breaks and you're looking for something to turn, no better chance than right now. Stanton getting something soft in the zone and getting this crowd to erupt. If he gets a breaking ball mediocre in the zone, they could have the lead.
It's a fastball, and it's a strike. Went into game 2 just 1 for 15 in this postseason, but he chipped in 2 hits, knocked in his first 2 runs of the postseason. The last time Shane Bieber pitched in October, he gave up a home run to Stanton here. 2 on, 2 out, the 0-1 pitch.
That was a breaking ball. It was a really good one. It stayed on the outer part of the plate, and that's where, if I'm Shane, I'm going to try to steal 3 more inches on the outside part. Not his make a turn type breaking ball, but it stayed on the outer third.
It's been one of the best swing and miss sliders in the game since he made his Blue Jays debut a couple months ago. It's 1-2 on Stanton. The Yankees just 1 home run the first 2 games of this series. Only 3 in the 5 games in the postseason. On this 1-2, Stanton fouls it off and stays alive.
That's 3 in a row. Now, if they want, they can go up and in with a fastball. That's 3 in a row on the outer third of the plate. And he's executing. And he's got his eyes way out there.
Judge at second, Rice at first. 1-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit left field. Stanton comes through to get the Yankees on the board in the first. Judge in to score. They take advantage of the 2-out error on Kiner Falefa. 2-1.
And the reason that ball didn't go over the fence, a breaking ball over the plate, but down. He's a great breaking ball hitter in the zone. And that's why I thought anything up, it would have been a 3-run homer. But see how it's down? He hits his head down. I really thought they were going to go fastball up and in. And it went slow again. And 4 in a row was the key for Stanton to get that hit. Knuckle curveball, not a bad pitch, just too many in a row.
Stanton with his 3rd run knocked in the last game plus. Tying run into scoring position. Jazz Chisholm to the plate. Ball.
Well, Jazz is looking for a moment. He's been quiet.
That's out. 2-0. 30-30 regular season, had a bunch of big moments throughout that. Career year, his first full one in New York. They're just 1 for 8 in this series. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0. Chisholm takes in the dirt for ball 3. Ryan McMahon is on deck.
Now we've seen Aaron Boone give Jazz the green light 3-0. Seen him swing 3 different times now lately on the 3-0 pitch. You wonder if that exists again.
I got a 200 hitter sitting on deck. I'm not giving him anything to swing at. Ooh. Took it.
This almost feels like a 3-1 changeup here after getting that strike on that part of the zone.
Jazz on 3-1, takes strike 2.
Off speed.
An error and 2 singles in this first inning to get the Yankees on the board. Runners get a head start. There they go. Here it comes. Chisholm lofts a fly ball to shallow left field. Davis Schneider is there. The Yankees stars come through in this first inning. It's Judge with a base hit to start it, and after the 2-out error on Kiner Falefa, Stanton cashes in. 2-1 after 1 in game 3. Rodon goes back to the mound, top of the 2nd inning, with Clement, Santander, and Kiner Falefa coming up. Ernie Clement, who's known for his defense, is known for his bat-to-ball ability. He got it all started with a home run in game 2. 1-5, the Blue Jays hit. Not an 0-1 from Rodon. He fouls it off, and it's 0-2.
That was a big run, to say the least, and the error was a big reason. The New York Yankees I just can't explain to you as a player, when you feel good about your season, you tie with the team, and then your first 2 games is as if you're not even in the same league with them. Like, it just shocks you. And you got to have something turn around to make you feel like, there we go. Okay, we put up a 4 spot when it mattered, and here we go. And that's what it's going to take for the Yankees tonight.
Clement puts it in play to first. Rice has it. He'll race him to the bag, and Clement beats it out with a headlong dive. Rochester, New York's Ernie Clement says he's doing his best to convert all the Yankees fans there to Blue Jays fans. And a diving play right here has him aboard with an infield hit.
2 things. First baseman way off. Rodon falls to the third base side. He's got to turn and go right away. And when you don't do that as a pitcher, you have no chance to beat a speedy runner from home plate, even if he's a right-handed hitter. So hesitation a little bit by Rice, understandably, because he's supposed to toss that to the pitcher.
The Yankees fans have seen one too many balls to the first baseman turn into base runners at first in the postseason the last year. Anthony Santander takes downstairs. Just the one change to the lineup, even though it's a left-handed pitcher again that the Blue Jays are facing. We asked John Schneider about that. He said, I'm trying to diversify my portfolio a little bit. I got a lot of contact guys in there. I wanted another guy that can leave the yard. The only guy that did more than Anthony Santander last year was Aaron Judge. Straight up with this pop-up. And backing out of play. This is a guy who started the scoring with a home run in game 2. Starts it with a hustle infield single in game 3.
Now there's the one time you can make the argument the slide might have helped. Sliding to first base is not faster, but where he was going and where Rice was coming into, it avoided any chance of a tag. And it just ended up being the one spot where you could say a slide was pretty good play.
It was a very Blue Jays play. It was a very Ernie Clement play. You ask everybody about him and they say gamer, grinder, ball player, all those cliches. One and two on Santander. Rodon comes back home and it's taken downstairs. 2-2.
Yeah, Rice might have actually been better served to dive himself. He went in feet first, which again, once he realized his pitcher wasn't going to make it to the bag, he was in scramble mode.
High pop up into shallow left center field for Anthony Volpe. And Santander is the first out of the second.
So if he dives right here, dives instead of slides, see how much slower that is? Foot is going to slow down when it hits the dirt. If he dives head first with his length, he would have easily beaten Clement. But again, that's like split-second decisions.
Yeah. 1-on-1 out. Here is Isaiah Kiner for left. Went back to the Blue Jays last day of August. Only started 7 games through the month of September, but here he is starting back-to-back games in the postseason. A lot of that thought was his glove and trying to have the best infield defense that they could behind Shane Bieber. But is it his air that allows the Yankees to get going? Ball and a strike. A guy the Yankees are very familiar with. Spent 2 seasons here in the Bronx. Extra special for him. He grew up dreaming of being the next Derek Jeter. A lot of kids his age. On this 1-1 from Rodon, he takes it high.
Now, one thing to watch in this game, even though Rodon is left-handed, they have stolen a lot of bases on him in the last 2 years. 38 is a lot. And so, not saying that the Blue Jays are the most flashy base stealing team in the league, but it's a thing.
And neither one of these teams has attempted to steal in this series. And actually, across baseball, stolen base rate is down almost a third of what we see in the regular season. fact, there's 9 stolen bases across the playoffs so far. Ten to 1 on Saturday for the Blue Jays. 13-7 in game 2. Here they lead 2-1 as Rodon deals a 2-2 instead of toss over. Carlos Rodon trying to keep their season going again, as he did against Boston last week. Well, we figured coming into the series, the clearest advantage for the Yankees coming out of what they did in the wild card round was the starting pitching. And then if you wanted to go one further, would be the home run ability. Hit 30 more than any other team in baseball this year, but it's totally flipped.
Yeah, it really has. The rest helps pitchers. And so the Blue Jays had one advantage. They had rest. The Yankees had to go full tilt in a 3-game series. So that has something to do with it, but I never would have predicted that kind of disparity.
Another pop up and a routine play for Anthony Volpe. 2 gone in the second. And now the 9-hitter Andrés Giménez. Yankees have not led in this series. The Blue Jays get going right away with Vlad's first home run. Have not looked back. Even Giménez, who came into the postseason the worst hitter in the American League this year, has chipped in. He's had 3 hits and has knocked in a pair of the first 2 games.
And he will do a lot of that against left-handed pitching. It's just a tough angle. A lot of swing and miss when he's facing a left-handed counterpart on the mound.
And Carlos Rodon, who's already thrown 42 pitches. Up and in here and actually hit him. And is going to get George Springer to the plate here. That was a 2-out error on the Blue Jays that opened the door for the Yankees. Here's a 2-out hit by pitch to the 9-hitter.
You know, the other thing I've learned about playoff baseball is it's hard to get 3 clean outs in an inning. And you kind of feel like that's, if you're going to get hit, oh my goodness, that's the way to get hit. It's like, that's just a little clip there, maybe.
Base without the bruise.
And what I'm saying is in the postseason,
the batter was hit by the pitch. New York has challenged, and the previous play is under review.
Clean innings are like gold. You go 1, 2, 3, it's gold. And we've seen some other series where that's been more prevalent than this one because we've had some hitters.
Ooh, that's close. Replay reviews presented by Zoom.
I gotta believe there's had to be a little click or something that, you know, obviously we're not going to hear, but
doesn't it kind of look like it changes direction slightly?
Time! Right here, first base.
I mean, the umpire right away had to hear some kind of click. So these are always tough. Didn't he have like a white guard?
He did.
And a white baseball.
Yeah.
That's never great.
And again, the call on the field is that he was hit. Hard to overturn here. And if the call does stand, you have George Springer, who hit 32 home runs during the regular season, coming to the plate here.
I will say this while we got a chance, because we never get to talk about it. I don't think we've said one time about a home plate umpire call of a strike or a ball that has been come into play where it's been, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've done a great job so far behind home plate. A lot of pitches. I mean,
after review, the ruling on the field stands. The batter was hit by the pitch. New York will have 1 challenge remaining.
All right, so they do have to deal with Springer, who after those 32 home runs in the regular season, homered in the 2nd game in Toronto. His 20th career postseason home run, which ties him with Derek Jeter for 5th all-time.
I don't know if Mr. Springer is going to be sitting on a breaking ball, but that's going to be how you get him out. And the swing and miss on the breaking ball that got the first strikeout, it's going to be interesting to see how he attacks him here on this first pitch.
Clement at second, Giménez at first. Rodon to Springer, where the breaking pitch low. And the first base run reached on an infield hit. And the door cracked open a little bit more here with his 2-out hit batter. next up. Rodon will get out of this. Rice puts it away, sends it to the bottom of the second. Team, your players, your postseason. Follow all the postseason action. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Yankees got a run in the first inning, taking advantage of the air. Shane Bieber goes back to work with the bottom of the order coming up. Ryan McMahon, the Yankee third baseman. Cracks the first one in the air to deep center field. Varsho's got room though. One pitch, one out in the second. For more on Shane Bieber, we go down to Kenny.
Well, Joe, all things considered, Bieber's comeback from Tommy John surgery in April 2024 has been remarkable. But Bieber doesn't see it that way, even though his results, 3.57 ERA in 7 starts, have been quite good. He isn't getting as much swing and miss as he would like. His consistent execution isn't there. But all of that is to be expected. Pitchers coming off Tommy John, and John knows this, generally are much better in their first full season after the surgery. Bieber, because he was rehabbing last offseason, hasn't had a break in 18 months.
Won a Cy Young in 2020 with Cleveland. I think the most impressive thing is that even with the up and down field that he's had, he's third in strikeout to walk ratio.
Well, I was surprised also why, as good as he was, he wanted to pick up more velocity in theory, and then unfortunately got hurt because the way he throws, velocity's not as important. He's got a fastball that plays up because of the way that he throws it, and it's kind of that short arm delivery. And I was just shocked when I saw that. Well, it was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago when he was trying to pick his velocity back up and
pick that bat back up as Volpe goes down swinging. Third strike. He's not going to need that for a bit. For Anthony Volpe, his 9th strikeout, his last 13 times up.
that pitch right there will get better next year. And I know he got a swing and miss, but it did not turn the corner and stayed in the strike zone too long. And that's the consistency that will come back.
Strike on Austin Wells. The last time the Yankees were down in a series, game 2 last week against Boston, this was the guy that had the game-winning hit in the 8th inning, scoring Jazz Chisholm all the way from first base. 0-2. Bieber rocks and fires. He fouls off changeup, stay alive. It's a changeup. It's been a key for him against left-handed hitters. He's been trying to find a grip pretty much his whole career and never had one that he liked. But found one coming back from Tommy John, and left-handers hitting just 156 against him as he's added that pitch in.
Out. 1-2.
I won't try and do it here with 2 outs, but next inning when Shane's out there, I'll try to show people at home why his short arm action plays. It's not the traditional long, release point ball out of the glove. He just hides it well, and I just think that's why he's been so successful. That's why I didn't think velocity was the end all for him.
30-year-old out of Laguna Beach, California, in his 7th year. Swing and a miss from Wells for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to finish off the scoreless second. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Blue Jays. That means Vladimir Guerrero Jr. when you come back.
Stadium, Blue Jays leading the Yankees 2-1. Here with Blue Jays manager John Schneider. John, Vlad Guerrero, 3 home runs in 3 games after a difficult September. What is going on?
I mean, this is what Vladdy can do, when he's locked in. He's taking some really good swings. I think he's swinging at good pitches too. I've seen him hit for a while, and when he gets pretty locked in, he's pretty good.
What is it about him and the Yankees and Yankee Stadium?
Not sure. I think it's one of those places where he's comfortable, sees the ball well, and I think once you kind of have some success, it can carry over, game after game or series after series. But I mean, he's in a really good spot right now.
Shane Bieber, obviously the error in the first inning hurt him, but what are you seeing so far?
Man, I think he's throwing the ball well. Kind of looking for his curveball and slider and changeup, really, the secondary stuff to be where it is. Can't give this team extra outs, you know what I mean? And, you know, I thought he did a good job of kind of navigating that, and that inning right there was really good with the secondary stuff.
John, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, as Davis Schneider rips one down the left field line into the corner, and he's got a leadoff double. So Snyder's been on both times, and the Blue Jays in business here in the third against Rodon.
That one hung, and to a hitter who carries his hands over the plate, and he gets extended. Changeup that cuts. Changeups are supposed to fade away from right-handed hitters, and that one came over the middle of the plate.
He said, "Oh boy."
Well, they're not going to let Mr. Guerrero hit.
They put him on after his 17th career home run at Yankee Stadium. We take a look at the player profile sponsored by Liberty Mutual. I think they just handed this graphic to Aaron Boone, and he said, "Put him on." He's been the best hitter at Yankee Stadium the last 5 years.
Well, it's the only play, really. You got a catcher who can hit, but also doesn't run very well, and you get a little off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate, and you got a ground ball recipe for a double play. But you got to make the pitch.
Got a chase. Strike one. Now, both times the Yankees have erased a 2-0 deficit in the division series. A dazzling starting pitching performance has led the way. 2001 division series, Mike Mussina in Oakland down 2-0, 7 scoreless in a 1-0 win. And then in 2017 against Cleveland, it was Tanaka firing 7 scoreless in another 1-0 win.
They want Jazz to move over more because that's the place he can go to the second base.
Ball.
I was watching the dugout, and they're trying to get his attention because he's playing up the middle. And when we talked about the ability that Kirk has to use all parts of the field, especially that huge gap, and they're trying to get Jazz to move over.
He's saying no, and now he'll relent. Line drive the other way. Judge is there. Kirk retired, 1 gone in the third.
Well, he tried to do it, and he hit a missile to Aaron Judge.
And it brings up Dalton Varsho, who struck out his first time. 6 out of 9 in this postseason. And you may be saying, where'd this come from? But when he was on the field this year, he was as powerful as anybody. Missed a lot of the season. He had shoulder surgery in the offseason, so didn't debut until a month in. And then he injured his hamstring and missed 2 months. But the only guy that had a higher slugging percentage than Dalton Varsho was Aaron Judge.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he said that he's always trying to hit a ball back up the middle to the pitcher. He's not trying to hit home runs, but the philosophy makes sense. You get it out front, you get your home runs.
20 of them in 71 games this season. The guy who John Schneider was telling us is one of the leaders down there, one of the guys that clubhouse loves. It's got Schneider at second, Guerrero at first as this 1-1 from Rodon comes home, and Varsho cracks it in the air to center field. Here comes Grisham. It will be a sliding try from Bellinger, but he couldn't catch it. Schneider's headed for the plate. Chisholm throws late, and he scores with a dive. No blink from the Blue Jays. Through to second, trying to get Guerrero forced. It was late. Everybody's safe, and it's 3-1.
Well, this is an incredible effort by Bellinger. He covered so much ground and just overreaches, catches the heel. And then right here, once he gets to third, he just keeps going. And Jazz thinks there's no way he's going home and really never took a look. And it was too late once he got the ball in.
Blue Jays lead the majors and taking extra bases. Schneider takes one. 3-1 here in the third. And now Ernie Clement. Man, is he aggressive.
He is. The one thing in this game, and I know it happens, right? There's human error and there's human play in the game. You can't assume anything. It's the one time of the year that you cannot assume anything's going to go the way you think. Regular season, maybe get away with it. The postseason, as you know, and we've seen, everything gets magnified, right and wrong. And the Yankees are a much different team than they were last year. This is, some games plagued them with some some defensive lapses, but that for the most part has not been the case.
I think that's one of the frustrating things for Yankees fans to watch here in this division series, is that it was looking so good down the stretch. All the things that had bugged them in the past seem to be pointing in the right direction. Perhaps though some fool's gold in what they did down the stretch, taking a look at the teams that they played, all below 500 teams, as they won 11 of the last 12 games to finish in the tie and inspire a lot of confidence that they were going to be much different, ready to make a deep run. It's a high fly ball off of the bat of Clement into the left field corner for Bellinger. Does he have room? Not quite.
Well, Jazz thinks under no circumstances could he be going, right? And that's the assumption part. And more times than not, he'd probably be right. Well, watch when he gets the ball. Okay, there's no thinking at all. Like, what, he's going? And by that time, it's too late. And so he's shocked because he's like, how could you go on a ball that's being dove for, right? So he's shocked, but it's a part of the game. You can't get yourself in that position.
Ground ball through the left side and a base hit, and Guerrero's going to charge for the plate. Bellinger's throw is not in time. Guerrero slides in ahead of the tag. 4-1 Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays are playing aggressive. They're playing confident. I think McMahon moves over to the left side of third base right when this pitch was made. That's the difference. And look at Guerrero. The difference is last year, I don't think he scores on this play. He's in much better shape. And Bellinger puts this throw right on the money.
Ernie Clement 5 out of his last 6, and he's knocked in 5. Contributions all over the place again for the Blue Jays. Vlad playing with joy. Dalton Varsho was talking about Vlad Guerrero Jr., what he's looked like these first couple of games, and he said, you know what, when Vlad is feeling right, he's like a kid out in the backyard that just loves baseball. That is what Vlad has looked like through this series.
I'm telling you, I think the pitch selection caused McMahon to move just a fraction towards the line, anticipating a ball pulled. And that little movement to what I thought I saw was the difference between him diving, the catching, and keeping it in front of him. So the little things right now, everything going Toronto's way in this series.
You see Fernando Cruz has started to warm as the infield comes in here. And Santander comes up trying to break it open. There was another 2-strike hit for the Blue Jays.
Watch this. See how he moves over right there? That's the difference.
Yeah.
He was in a good spot, but that's based on the pitch selection. And I'm telling you, I had to look twice to see if that was Guerrero running home because he was flying.
And there was no doubt that he was going to go. Ball and a strike on Santander. Those feel like 2 massive runs sitting out there at second and third. This Yankees offense has not shown much. 3-run deficit already feels large.
That was the pitch. Santander is trying to get the ball in the air, of course, right? Infield in. He wants a pitch that he can get lifted. This was it. Maybe just changeup fooled him. It was supposed to fade away. And again, another one just catching the middle of the plate. You can tell that release point is off just a hair.
Rodon, one of the top strikeout guys in the league, could use one right here. His 1-2 is chop foul. Starting to say there's another 2-strike hit from Clement. The league average with 2 strikes this year is 170. The Blue Jays in this series are hitting 325 with 2 strikes.
Well, as a team, I mean, they're heading towards a record team batting average. I know only three games, but man. First of all, for Vladimir Guerrero, he gets a great jump and he makes a good turn. No movement that takes him away from the pad. And then
a dive.
That
Superman.
That is how you do it.
He is Superman. Varsho at third, Clement at second. Another 1-2 from Carlos Rodon to Anthony Santander. The Yankees starting pitching that was so good in the wild card round. They have not had a guy get an out in the 4th inning. There were questions about Luis Gil game 1, but you felt so good about Max Fried going into game 2. He's tagged for 7 runs, fails to get an out in the 4th. And now Rodon is up against it. Santander sends one down the right field line. And foul. This will be the 8th pitch coming up to Santander. Trying to add his imprint to this Blue Jays offense. That's past first and into right. Varsho's in. Here comes Clement. Throw goes into second. It is 6-1 Toronto. It's another 2-strike hit. It's Anthony Santander going the other way. And it's Aaron Boone going to the bullpen with 1 out in the 3rd.
This is a bullet.
It's gone from oh Canada to oh boy
to oh no.
And New York looking like they're sitting on thin ice as these Blue Jays have kept on trucking. 6-1 in game 3 as they look for the sweep. And Cody Bellinger is all Yankees right now. Carlos Rodon leaves the mound, as did Gil, as did Max Fried before getting an out in the 4th inning. It is 6-1 Blue Jays, and the bullpen goes to work already. Cruz is on to face the pinch hitter, Addison Barger, up there pinch hitting for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Well, twice the Yankees in their history have come back from down 2-0. We mentioned that in a best-of-5 series. One of those 2001 in Oakland. And I asked Derek Jeter how they were able to do that. And he said you focus on one pitch at a time, one game at a time. They were so good at doing that already. A team that had won all those championships leading up to that. He said it was unspoken. They just knew if they did what they always do, they'd have a shot. And they put the pressure on the A's right away. They won that 3rd game 1-0. Had the edge from there, blew them out in game 4. And the other thing Derek said was watch out for the crowd, because they're going to have the crowd behind them at the start of game 3 trying to push them forward. But that's going to be a sensitive thing. You're going to lose the crowd and it could snowball on you if you don't start fast. Not only have they not started fast, they've gotten blitzed just like they did in the 2 games in Toronto.
Yeah, and it's the simple things. Again, you know, not taking anything for granted. Literally the game is easier when you do one pitch at a time, one at bat at a time, one pitch at, you know, but it takes mentally longer to do. And so I used to never like this statement that I hear a lot of players say when they were down and the brink elimination. Oh, we got nothing to lose. The pressure's on them. You know, yeah, you have everything to lose. No, it's harder when you're in elimination. Or you hear people say, we'll win when we have to. Well, then if that's the case, you wouldn't have been down 2-0.
Barger's down on strikes, 2 away.
But there's no bigger place for success and failure than New York. I mean, it's magnified, and these guys have been having a lot of pressure on them the last couple of years. They get to the World Series last year. High expectations when they started off the year dominating most of the year, and then they fell back into a real big funk and then chased all the way back to, you know, the Blue Jays. And here they are trying to fight for their playoff lives.
Andres Gimenez takes upstairs for a ball. Menes, who's hit by pitch his first time on this 1-0, cracks it on the ground to second. Jazz Chisholm's got it, and that's the inning. But the Blue Jays scored 4 more times, and Chase Cardoso down from this game. Vladimir Guerrero has looked like Superman at the plate. Now he's diving like him. It's all Toronto. 6-1, middle 3. And Tigers will start at 2 o'clock Eastern, and then Brewers Cubs on TBS. If necessary, we'll be back here on FS1 at 7 o'clock Eastern. And you got Phillies Dodgers on TBS. And a programming note: if this series ends tonight, Mariners Tigers will move into that 7 o'clock time slot on FS1. Trent Grisham, top of the Yankees order. Yanks trying to chip away, still with a long ways to go in this game. Defensive changes. Addison Barger, after pinch hitting, stays in and plays third, and Ernie Clement goes over to second. 1 ball, 1 strike on Grisham, who hit 34 home runs during the regular season, but is just 3 for 21 in the post.
Yeah, it's be crucial from this point on that he get on base a couple times in the remainder of this game.
He was Aaron Boone's gut feeling guy to click for today.
Yeah, and I like him too, based on what he's facing. And the Yankees aren't facing a split finger tonight.
Thank God, the Yankees are saying,
because they're 0 for on the split finger over the first 2 games against the Toronto Blue Jays starters. And not that Shane Bieber is anything fun to hit off of, but they got to feel like they are glad to see a more conventional pitcher.
Anybody but you, Savage. I mean, they got to be saying coming out of that game, literally anybody but him.
I'm still shaking my head. I don't think people appreciate how hard and how incredible that game was for that young man, and he looked like he'd been doing it for a long time.
And when you put Gausman and him together, you were saying earlier today that it's as impressive of a back-to-back starting pitching performance as you remember seeing.
Yeah, because they're going against a great offense. They executed so perfectly with no mistakes. That is so rare. And when you're going against a team like the Yankees and you don't give up a run, but that 1 run in the 6th, man, that's doing something.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Trent Grisham. Not sure what the conversation is here between Jordan Baker and the crew chief Dan Bellino. Looks like Dan may let us know.
The ruling on the field is the catcher did not interfere with the batter. The previous play is under review as the Yankees have challenged.
All right, so let's see. Yeah.
Well, you got to know they had 100% of it. You're not going to challenge and use your second challenge this early in a 6-1 game if you're not 100% sure.
They're going to get it.
I mean, you would never do this, right? Like, you wouldn't take a chance and not have that ability to retain it, even though the 7th inning on.
Replay review is presented by Zoom. These are up across baseball. Catcher's interference with the emphasis on pitch framing and catchers playing closer to the plate than ever. And this is going to cost Kirk right here, as Grisham was putting together a tough at-bat there, trying to set the table for Judge, who get a little bit of help to do just that.
Now the ball was in the glove, and then he hit the glove, but watch the ball go in the glove, and this is a check swing. It's in the glove, and then he hits the back of the catcher's mitt.
Trent saying, yeah, it's in the glove because his glove's sticking out in front of my bat.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It was not catcher's interference. The batter will remain at bat with a 3-2
Ball's
count.
in the glove.
New York has no more
but the ball is in the glove
remaining.
because he stuck the glove in front of the bat.
Yeah.
I'm wondering the same thing, Aaron. I mean,
the intent to hit the ball, I guess, was not there, and he didn't make a full swing, and the ball, nobody can believe it on the Yankees side.
and Aaron sharing his frustration with this umpiring crew. The call comes from the replay center, so he's killing the messenger here, but I would too. And now he hopes that Trent Grisham can earn his way aboard. With a 3-2 count. Judge and Bellinger to follow. down the line. That is a fair ball. Grisham's headed for second. He says, don't worry, Skip. We'll take a double instead.
Well, a little bit of justice maybe, and a leadoff hitter on base, which has not happened a lot. Only the third time in the series the Yankees have gotten a leadoff man on. And in the playoffs, that matters. Scoring position, Aaron Judge. This crowd wants a loud noise right now. Oh, they
had one, didn't he?
They almost got it.
Judge hitting .474 in this postseason. Looking for that first home run, though. He's only knocked in 2. Oh, and 2. This ball is fouled just barely. Now, by adjusted OPS, which is a category that you can look at to compare hitters across generations, historically great. Aaron Judge is tied with Lou Gehrig, trailing just Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Barry Bonds. Probably going to win his 3rd MVP in 4 years. Oh! Just misses right there, does Bieber. But as we know, when you wear that uniform, legacies are measured in championships. And those guys we were talking about, DiMaggio 9 rings, Ruth and Mantle won 7, Gehrig won 6, Jeter won 5. Way to the pinstripes heavy. The history that it carries. That's a wild pitch. Up the third goes Grisham. Ten seasons with the Yankees for the 33-year-old. And Aaron has said it's hard to put into words how special it is, not just to play for the Yankees, but to be looking like that's going to be the only place he ever plays for. On a 2-2 from Shane Bieber. Judge rips one down the left field line. That'll get the job done. Into the corner. Grisham jogs home. Judge chugging for second with a double. That's back-to-back doubles to open the third for the Yanks, and it's 6-2.
I'm a big believer the more opportunities that Aaron Judge gets, the less the narrative will be talked about in the postseason. Yes, it's been hyper-focused on him, but he's swinging the bat pretty good in the regular season, and they know the numbers will average out in the postseason. The problem is you just wonder how many more of those years he has left for this great franchise.
High strike on Cody Bellinger.
Meaning it's not a guarantee you're going to the postseason every year.
Well, for Judge, 8 of the 10 seasons he's been here, they have. For the Yankees, 27 World Championships, 27 consecutive winning seasons. So they're always in the conversation. But Judge in his prime, that doesn't last forever. That hit, by the way, came on a changeup, which was the first hit for the Yankees against an off-speed pitch in this series. When you factor in the splitters, they were 0 for 24 against splitters and changeups. And now Cody Bellinger, who's been their best run producer this postseason, on an 0-1, swats one into left center field. That'll sink down for a base hit. 3 consecutive hits to open the third for the Yankees.
A little bit more like the Yankees. And this ball's trying to throw it up, and he throws it exactly the way he wanted to. I mean, that's just better hitting. He throws his hands at it. Judge has to make sure. And all you want to do if you're the Yankees is pass the baton on. 1 at bat at a time. Crawl back in this game. But make no bones about it. They have to score. Judge on third, and maybe one more, and then the game is right back in in play.
Well, P. Walker's not gotten a lot of exercise in this series. Out there for a rare visit. And as he does, we get a quick word from certified financial planner.
Yes, I'm a CFP professional.
CFP professionals are committed to acting in your best interest. That's why it's gotta be a CFP. Find your CFP professional at letsmakeaplan.org.
Well, we told you there, and Boone considered starting Paul Goldschmidt, but this is the kind of spot that he envisioned when he said, I'm going to keep Ben Rice in there. Kind of spot where the young kid could change the game with his power. Took one right down the middle. 26-year-old hit 26 home runs during the regular season. Homered in Game 2 against Boston. Judge at third, Bellinger at first. Rice bounces one to first. Guerrero's looking home. He's got Judge hung up. And now he's in a rundown. Kirk to third. Judge for the plate. Guerrero chases him. One star after another, and he tags him out. Into third goes Bellinger. Rice is still at first. Vlad Guerrero Jr. with a heads-up play comes home, and they get the lead runner for the first out of the inning.
Well, what's interesting there, and he did keep the run from scoring, but it could have been a double play, and you give up the run. So we'll see how the inning shakes out. But a great job of base running by Aaron Judge to at least let Bellinger get back to third base. So they have the same scenario now with one out. Problem is, a ground ball here and double play gets him out of the inning. So I talked about Judge had to score. Well, now Bellinger has to score. He just replaced him.
And it's Giancarlo Stanton who knocked in the first run for the Yankees at the plate. Stanton won for his first 15 in the postseason, but he's 3 for his last 5. Seven home runs in the postseason last year. 18 in his career.
You got to know what you're going to do in baseball before it happens. So if you're fielding a ball, you're an infielder, you're thinking of scenarios that play out before it gets hit to you. And I think what happened there is Guerrero's vision was so locked in on Judge that was an easy decision for him to make. But fielding that ball at first, throw to second, throw to first, double play, he went for cutting the run down at home plate.
Bieber had a stand 0-2. Went out to get that pitch, lifted it to center. Varsho's going back. He's onto the track with room, but it'll bring home the run from third, and it's 6-3. Stanton has knocked in 2 of the 3 Yankees runs.
That's actually a huge out for the Toronto Blue Jays because that ball was hit. Looked like it could have got over his head and maybe a homer, but the Yankees got the 2 back with a chance to score some more with 2 outs. Now you just feel like you're back in the game.
Well, you said you had a feeling there could be some runs scored in this game. We've had 9 of them over the first 3 innings. Jazz Chisholm chops the first pitch foul. They'll have to have a bunch more if the Yankees are going to extend their season. Down 5 in the standings with about 2 weeks left. Down 1-0 to Boston in the wild card round. Became the first team ever to erase that to come back and win in a wild card series.
Jazz needs a mistake middle in. Middle up, belt high. And he has not been on track here in the postseason. He's been swinging big and swinging for homers, just not connected.
1 for 9, no extra base hits after he hit 31 in the regular year. Ahead 2-1.
That's it.
A little bit outside, ball 3. We saw Mason Fluharty was warming, and this is one of those situations that is Pressure's on the manager to decide here, especially with the potential bullpen game coming tomorrow. But John Schneider was telling us, yeah, that's in the back of my mind, but I'm going to go for the kill here. We're going to do everything we can to win this game and not have to worry about a game 4. Ball taken high for ball 4, and the Yankees get the tying run to the plate.
That was actually a really good at bat by Jazz. And if you're trying to make something happen, you're swinging at a couple of those pitches. So taking the walk there with 2 outs was actually a really, really good at bat. The more batters that can come to the plate, the more opportunities Aaron Judge gets to bat in this game. And you turn the lineup back over.
And he is going to make a pitching change here. So if you're the Yankees trying to extend this season, not only are you saying I have Cam Schlittler if I can get this to tomorrow, but you're saying, hey, we got the Blue Jays having to throw a bullpen game one day after they're going to have to cover pretty much a bullpen game like this.
Yeah.
'25 American League Division Series on FS1, presented by Booking.com. The left-hander Mason Fluharty comes in for the Blue Jays, and Aaron Boone's going to counter with a pinch hitter as Ahmed Rosario goes up the pinch hit for Ryan McMahon. He's above 300 against lefties this year.
This is one of those ads that really deepen the bench and the depth for the Yankees.
Tying run at the plate. Strike 1. Rosario started 2 of the 3 games against Boston. He started the scoring in game 3 with an RBI single, and that 4-run rally that won the series for the Yankees. Bryce at second, Chisholm at first. 2 in the bank here in the 3rd. Rosario swings and misses, 0-2.
The cutter, 182 batting average against his cutter. Cutter is a fastball literally that you cut, which creates spins and illusion to the hitter.
Ball.
And what you do is turn it with a tight wrist, and the slider has a loose wrist. So the break on either is much bigger on a slider than it is a cutter.
Fluharty kind of found his by accident when he was in college at Liberty. Said maybe I should just harness this, lean into this. On the hands, cutter doing what it does. Made famous in this ballpark by the greatest ever to throw it in Rivera. Yankees with a couple, 6-3, both starters out of the game.
Yankee Stadium with Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Aaron, you cut the deficit to 6-3 that last inning. What did you like most about what you saw from your offense?
Yeah, I feel like we're putting good at bats on them. You know, squared some balls up, and we just got to keep grinding. And we're capable, as much as anyone, of getting back with behind in the score like we are. But obviously, we got to be able to hold them down a little bit to let our offense do some work.
Both starters out of the game now. How does your bullpen set up the rest of the way?
Yeah, you know, we'll just start parading them out there and try and get them in the best situations to be successful and hopefully hold them down.
Aaron, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, as the top of the order comes up here against Fernando Cruz, who's been one of their top guys this season, but in Toronto he came in, both inherited runners that he had came in to score and one more. Guy they got to be able to count on, keep it close.
What do you call those things? Fitbits or whatever? What do you call when you wear it? It tells you how many steps you make. I will guarantee you he has more steps than any pitcher, period. He is getting halfway there, getting to the mound. He uses so much energy, and I love it. He's into it, obviously. Bounced off the mound to make a play at third base, but he's getting the steps in.
Camilo Doval begins to loosen. As Cruz delivers and strikes him out. The bottom falls out of that splitter. He says, check this out. We got a guy with a splitter, too. That is the best swing and miss pitch in baseball this year. Let's see why. "35 years old, out of Puerto Rico. Comes home to Davis Schneider and gets strike 1. Debuted when he was 32. 15 years after he was drafted. We mentioned this the other day. He was drafted as an infielder for the Kansas City Royals and spent time in the minor league system with them. They cut him loose. 2 years out of baseball. Got a brief stint in the Cubs system. That didn't work, so he went into indie ball. another 2 years out of baseball before giving it one more shot. Pitching in Mexico, and the Reds discovered him there. Signed him in an improbable topsy-turvy ride to the major leagues. Not just get there, but to become a key bullpen piece for the New York Yankees. Trying to do something Rodon couldn't. That is retire Schneider, who's walked and doubled today, scored both times. Ahead of him 1-2.
I'll tell you what, Schneider holds that bat as if he's squeezing that bat, getting ready for his mechanism to just let it go. He's got it standing kind of straight up, and then watch how he gets it going. Pitch gets ready, he starts bringing his hands in, and he's ready to fire.
David Schneider grew up a Red Sox fan with a mural of the Green Monster on his bedroom wall, and then homered over the Green Monster for his first career at bat. Looking hitterish. Down on that splitter. Doesn't matter how hitterish you look when a pitch moves like that. 2 up and 2 down and a couple Ks. Up comes Vlad Guerrero Jr. Homered in the first inning. Homered in all 3 games to go back to game 1. And they said that the whole dugout kind of exhaled when he did that in the first inning, because no matter how deep they are, so much is tied to which version of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. they get. And there's a fan on the field that security's going to make quick work of.
That would have been a 15-yard penalty based on how they got to him. And now he's got a buddy on the field. It's not going to end well.
Oh, he's about to get blindsided. Good form tackling. You know, this is for Vlad, what he's doing in this postseason here. It's everything that they had envisioned that he would do. It's everything that the expectations were that he would do from the time before he even got into the major leagues. John Schneider, who is his manager in AA, tells the story of people chasing the bus, trying to just get his autograph. He's a AA kid at that point, and he gets there. He's the hope. He's the face of the franchise right away. To watch him deliver like this has been really neat.
Listen, he's seeing so good. He let everybody know that was somebody on the field before anyone else. So he's seeing it all. He's seeing the ball like a beach ball. It happens when you're in that mode. You just love it as a hitter. And right now, why not? He's in rhythm. And look, with 2 outs, he's still a danger now. But I guarantee the Yankees are happier he's batting with 2 outs and nobody on.
I mean, he's got to be getting pretty close to the automatic put him on situation.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
Let's see how careful Cruz is with him here. Put him on intentionally his last time. Here you go.
See, he's the type of hitter that the harder you throw, the better it is for him. He's not a winded up swing from the heels type guy. We talked about it in game 2, the rhythm of his toe tap and the way the bat and his hands go back. It's all a timing mechanism.
Chopper, past Rosario. On for the 3rd time.
And see, that's just an easy swing. There's no effort there. He's a strong hitter, but not necessarily just a power hitter. Little toe tap. And then when it gets down, the hands are back, and he can hit a ground ball for a hit. Normally, ground balls go to die, but he's locked in.
He's a hitter first.
Yeah.
Hitter and then a slugger. And it looks like that is all the last from Fernando Cruz. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has a home run in all 3 games in this series, but you look at the full line, he is 8 for 10. Dak and the Cowboys take on the Panthers, or Matthew Stafford and the Rams against the Ravens, or other regional action. You can check out the local listings for the game in your area Sunday on Fox.
Uh-oh.
Spooky.
Full moon.
Well, the starters for the Yankees in this series with a 16.88 ERA. And considering that was the biggest advantage coming into this series, it's no wonder that they're looking at an early exit without a late comeback in this game 3. Down 6-3. And like Aaron Boone told Ken Rosenthal, just pretty much going to be churning them out there. Cruz come in, and now it's Camilo Doval who inspired a little bit of hope. His appearance in game 1, 6 up and 6 down. And really back to the end of the regular season, he's been a lot better than his first month after they got him from San Francisco.
Yeah, you see he pitches off the first base side of the rubber. Watch how closed he is, though, and he kind of whips his body and throws a lot of cutting fastballs.
Alejandro Kirk takes a strike.
He would be the polar opposite of an arm swing versus Shane Bieber. You're going to see this tall, slender guy just let it rip.
Doval out of Yamasá, Dominican Republic, where he's one of 24 kids in the family.
Wait a minute.
24.
Wait, say that one more time.
He's one of 24 kids in the family. They're not all kids at this point. They range from elementary school to their early 40s. He's kind of right in the middle.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to drop that nugget on me now?
Just now, even with 2 out, yeah. I'll give you time to digest it during the break. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kirk. Guerrero's the runner at first, 2 gone in the 4th. Doval's 1-2 pitch. Kirk chops it to third, backs up Rosario from short left field, across the diamond in time. To the bottom of the 4th we go. The Blue Jays up 6-3. Volpe comes up to start the 4th for the Yankees, down 6-3. Got 2 runs in the 3rd inning to chip away a little bit. And Volpe leads off against Mason Fluharty with a cutter high. Volpe struck out his first time and has struck out 9 of his last 13 times at the plate. Flashing back to what it was looking like for a lot of the second half when there were calls for his spot. Had a strong last couple of weeks. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury for a lot of the year that kind of flew under the radar. But he got a shot in that shoulder in early September. Been much better since. 24-year-old in his 3rd year. A lot of pressure coming with where he plays, where he's from. He's a local guy that grew up a Yankees fan, and Yankees fans are very familiar with his story at this point. But for the rest of you joining us from around the country, getting to know these teams this postseason, he wanted to be the next Jeter, and then he blinks, and he is. He's the shortstop for the Yankees, and the top prospect coming up with a lot of expectations and a lot of pressure. He's down on strikes again here. 1 gone in the 4th inning. T-Mobile is the best network in the game, and it's now the best network in America. Here's Wells. Mason Fluharty was back and forth between the Blue Jays and AAA for a lot of this year. Like a few guys, came up, had a great finish to the regular season, made his case to be a leverage arm, and they were looking for as many left-handed relievers as they could find. Even some guys that had hardly pitched in the majors, like Justin Brule, hadn't been here in a month. They carried him, specific to this Yankees lineup, that they've been able to silence.
Yeah, and they knew going in, obviously, once they saw who they were going to play. The Yankees have a lot of left-handed bats in their lineup. That's how they stocked and made decisions. 2 starters didn't make the roster, and Scherzer and Bassett. They put in some extra lefties. Look for one of those guys, if not both, maybe to make the roster moving forward if the Blue Jays were to go on and win.
money right now would be on Blue Jays Mariners, as the Mariners have taken Game 3 from the Tigers in convincing fashion in Detroit. I guess I shouldn't totally speak yet. It's 8-3, bottom of the ninth. Not over till it's over. Oh, now it's 8-4. Pete Macheska tells me. Panic, Seattle.
Make the fan base do math. That's what we were talking about in Toronto.
Get your calculators out. Full count on Wells with the top of the order on deck. There'll be one more hitter for Fluharty, the left-handed batting Trent Grisham, and then you've got Judge. And you saw Lewis Varlin, who has been their highest leverage right-handed arm, ready to go for him. 3-2. In the left. Barger's out. He says that he's got it and then loses the ball. Wells into second. Barger in the game as a pinch hitter earlier, not for his defense. They give up some defense in bringing him in, and it shows right there.
Yeah, I don't think this is his fault. I think the left fielder got to call him off. When the ball's up that high and the third baseman's got to go with his back to home plate, I think this is the left fielder, and he just gives way to him, and that's what happened.
Looked like he was calling it pretty strongly, though.
Well, he's
still
supposed to
call him off.
Yeah, you got to call him off. I mean, that's too far to travel as a third baseman as compared to a left fielder coming in and seeing the angle way better.
It was an error that opened the door for the first Yankees run. It was an error on Connor Falefa in the first, and this normally airtight Blue Jays defense has given the Yankees some life.
Well, the Yankees know all too well what happened to them last year in the 5th inning, and it started with a fly ball.
Grisham, 1-1.
And they were on the opposite side of that in a negative way.
It has had the feeling throughout this series so one-sided that the only way the Yankees could get going was if they got a little bit of help. And they have here in Game 3. Blue Jays this close to advancing to the championship series for the first time in almost a decade.
Well, just think how many times in this brief 3 games that we've talked about the tying run coming to plate for the Yankees. Hasn't been very much.
Grisham can reach, it will in the form of Judge. That almost hit him, and it's ball 3. This is going to be the last batter for Mason Fluharty. Trent Grisham. Aaron Boone's picked the click today, and a hitter's count right here. Ball takes ball 4, and Judge is coming up. The game has again found Aaron Judge. John Schneider will call on Lewis Varlin. Judge with another chance to make his mark. Aaron Judge to face Lewis Varlin, who has been the top guy in this Blue Jays bullpen so far in this postseason.
He came in to face Stanton with the bases loaded and 2 outs and struck him out right after him with a couple breaking balls and then a heater.
Chopper down the line and foul. Judge against Varlin in his career is 2 for 5 with a pair of home runs. In this game, he's 2 for 2. He's hitting .500 in this postseason.
Varlin, a little different pitcher now with the Jays, a starter in Minnesota. His velocity has gone way up as a reliever for the Blue Jays.
Tom Touch 101 in that at bat against Stanton you were talking about. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss at 100, strike 2. How many chances is Aaron Judge going to get?
This is a fastball with just, I mean, that's a great swing, just a tick late.
One of the early turning points of this series, the 6th inning with the bases loaded, nobody out in game 1, battling against Kevin Gausman. He struck out. His biggest spot since. On a 2-strike pitch. Hits a drive down the line. If it's fair, it's his moment. It is. It's tied. Judge has arrived. Bellinger to left center field. Schneider's got it. Aaron Judge and the Yankees take advantage of the air.
If you keep giving him chances like his regular season, the numbers are going to start turning. This was 3 inches, and that 3 inches off the foul pole may have turned this series and Aaron Judge into a different conversation.
For 10 years, that ball has sailed wide to the left and just missed the foul pole. This time it hits it. Judge has his first home run of the postseason. It's a game-tying 3-run shot, and the Yankees have come back from down 6-1, facing elimination here in Game 3 to tie it. And it's only the 4th inning.
I was going to say, are we in the 8th?
Jeez. Oh! 1-1 on Rice.
Well, and now, again, a lot of game left. But you talked about it. We touched on it. Tomorrow's a bullpen game. He pushed the gas, and rightfully so, to try to put a nail in the coffin. And now the game is tied, and he's going to have to use a lot of resources in the rest of this game. He could still win it, and then use a lot of those resources tomorrow.
Well, like I was saying, Jeter said about the 2001 season, they knew if they could just win the one game, they felt like it was over. If they got the one win, they thought the pressure went on the A's. They got that one win. They rolled the A's in Game 4 and won it in Game 5. Yankees are saying if we can just win this game, we got Cam Schlittler going tomorrow, and who knows in Game 5 we get it back to Toronto.
And as crazy as this game is turning out to be, it really was a drop fly ball that has really spun this game into the Yankees' favor after a walk, an easy pop-up.
It was a drop fly ball that bottomed out Aaron Judge's postseason resume, and it's a drop fly ball that reopens that book and allows him to write a new chapter.
The only thing better would have been is if this was the 5th inning, right? I mean, this ball is going to be caught 99 out of 100 times.
And again, Barger was in the game because he pinch hit earlier. John Schneider was going for a big hit in the 3rd inning. They made a change that made a defense that was already not as good as the normal lineup would be. They were playing for a little more offense in the outfield. Made it even worse in the infield. And the 2 guys that are in there because of their bats, Schneider in left, Barger at 3rd, together on that play let him down. And Judge took advantage. He finally has his big October moment. Will it extend that of the Yankees? They were down 6-1. They've tied it up. And now who knows where this is headed. Well, of course, they love Aaron Judge, and you got a whole city, a whole fan base just waiting to embrace him, wanting him to have that moment as much as he wanted himself to have it. Yeah, and as he heads back out there for the top of the 5th inning, they greet him as warmly as possible. It's 6-6. The Yankees back into a tie game. Camilo Doval remains in. Dalton Varsho leads off for the Blue Jays. We talk about winning one game. You immediately put the pressure on the Blue Jays, but it feels like that pressure has already been transferred over there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you still want to beat the Blue Jays. You want to be 2-0 and with a chance to still win this game. But it changes, and the crowd is now back in it, and that's what you wanted if you're the Yankees.
Good.
You know, I've said it all the time. When you play on the road, you want the crowd, if you're the road team, to be a dull roar. If they're frantic, that's not good. That means you're losing.
The 1-2 to Varsho. Chase, strike 3. Well, with that one big swing, he checked the last box. He's got the home run in the big moment, but he's already got a career high with 11 hits in this postseason, and this is just, what, 6 games in?
Yeah, but what he did right there was so impressive for me because he got blown away on the middle of the fastball, but it was a good swing. I just said he was a little bit late, and well, he wasn't late. You can't be late and hit a ball inner half and not have it hook and hit it down the line like he did.
It's out.
I mean, it was so impressive. If he gets this ball out front, then you got a chance for that ball to hook. But he stayed back and kept his hands in. And oh man, what? Always the round foul pole.
Ernie Clement deep to the left field corner. Bellinger on the run. It'll bounce off the warning track, and Clement is 3 for 3 in this game. 6 out of his last 7.
This is a slider that backs up. That was like a mediocre fastball as it looks in the middle of the zone to the hitter.
And now it's Santander. Knocked in a pair his last time up. Over to bat left-handed for the first time today. Switch hitter takes outside, ball 1. Blue Jays have not had a blown lead loss of more than 4 runs this year. We've seen a 5-run lead disappear here. You don't have to ask Blue Jays fans if coming back from 2-0 is something they need to worry about happening against them, because they were on the right side of it back in 2015 against the Texas Rangers. They were down 2-0 in that series, came back to win it. Jose Bautista's bat flip, the lasting image of that comeback. But 90% of the teams that have gone up 2-0 in a best of 5 have finished it off. Doval to Santander with a 1-1 pitch. Line drive right field. Judge will lay out and make the catch. Making plays all over the place.
I don't think he gets enough credit for his defense. Everybody knows what he does offensively, but his defense, he's played a lot of center field. And now with the elbow issue, playing right field.
That is going to do it for Camilo Doval. Get some help from Aaron Judge. With Addison Barger coming up. Back into the pen goes Aaron Boone. Tying home run in the bottom of the 4th inning. Aaron Judge, a diving defensive play here in the 5th.
Covers a lot of ground.
The new pitcher for the Yankees is the lefty Tim Hill. He's on for Addison Barger. Swing and a miss. Hill out of the bullpen in the first game. 1 1/3 scoreless innings for the funky lefty. And you know, Barger would love to atone. It was Barger's error that opened the door for Judge's game-tying homer. Barger, who started this season in AAA, came up in mid-April, hit 21 home runs. One of the many breakout stars for the Jays this year. Fouls it off, and it's 1-2. A 25-year-old who was born in Seattle, high school in Florida. 197 last year as a rookie. He was back and forth between the big leagues and AAA. He said, I had lost my identity. I was always tweaking and changing my swing. Back to doing what he always had, swinging hard. Takes inside here, and the count goes 2-2. And the guy they call Bam Bam Barger, trying to put the Jays back in front. Down swinging, Tim Hill does the job. Halfway home in a 6-6 game. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on social media. Aaron Judge is connected on a game-tying home run. Giancarlo Stanton leads off the bottom of the 5th and takes a strike from Varlin, who struck him out with 101 in that bases-loaded situation back in Game 1. Stanton's knocked in a run both times he's been up today. Yankees are looking for their first lead of this series. Very much alive here in Game 3. Braden Fisher warms. Dueling bullpen games here with neither starter making it through 3. The Yankees trying to extend this to Game 4 when they've got Cam Schwittler lined up.
That was a really good take by Stanton. Good sign for him.
Scary sign if you're the pitcher in ball 3.
I mean, those are 2 pitches normally when you're out of trying to make something happen. You're swinging at it. And you've seen him swing at those before when he's not locked in. So seeing those pitches helps him in this at bat.
Now for 2 days in Toronto, it was Vlad and the Blue Jays stars delivering. But both Judge and Stanton doing it for the Yankees here. Not this time, though. 1 gone in the 5th. Time for a game break. Here's Kevin Burkhardt. Trying to get to the championship series, Kevin, for the first time since 2001, when that record-setting season was ruined by the New York Yankees. Jazz Chisholm laid off, 1 ball, no strikes. It's a fun MVP discussion, but it's Judge.
I don't know. I hear you. I hear you. I'm just telling you, the position that Cal Raleigh plays is not a normal position. If there was a player that had his numbers that was a left fielder or an infielder, hands down. But I'm telling you, he's going to get way more votes because of the position, what it does to your legs, the involvement you have. So it's a better discussion. But I would say 99 out of 100 times Judge has that year. He's an automatic MVP.
There's a drive to deep right field. New York leads for the first time in the series. Jazz Chisholm goes deep. And a Yankees team that hit 30 more home runs than any other during the regular season. Only had 3 over the first 5 games of the postseason, but they have rode a pair of long balls into a tie, and then their first lead of this division series. Yankees 7, Blue Jays 6. Hunting a game 4. Chisholm knew it. What a comeback. Well, it's Judge's first home run of this postseason that tied the game. It was Chisholm's first home run of the postseason that's given the Yankees the lead. And it's Braden Fisher out of the Blue Jays bullpen, already the 3rd reliever that they've used.
7-0.
Rosario with a looper down the left field line that'll sink in. Rosario heads for second. He'll get there standing. It's a double.
Hanging breaking ball, stays on it. It's amazing the momentum on an offense when things start clicking. We've seen it with Toronto, and now we're seeing it with New York.
Seven runs on 8 hits for the Yankees. Volpe trying to get involved.
If Volpe can stay center field to right center, he'll stay on the ball. Trying to pull everything with Volpe mechanically. When he gets connected, I'm telling you, he's going to have good numbers. But his hands, watch his hands, and the movement that he has from his hands down to a hitting position is the mechanical funk that you get in as a hitter. His hands will start up high, and then he drops them into a position to be in a position of strength, so you can either go and attack the ball or you can take. And that is where he's at right now, and when he's going good and when he's not. Hands up high, gets ready to bring him down. And see that timing of being in between is what hitters deal with.
We had always talked about him kind of stepping open, pulling open, but Aaron Boone was saying, yeah, it's because he's late with those hands, and then he hurries to try and catch up, make up for it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you can't hit with your body. Although you hit through your legs, you hit ground up. And if your body is moving, that means your hands are late and the timing's bad, and that will result in that front shoulder leaking.
He's worked it full.
That right there, again, always sometimes you got to look at a hitter and say, those were good takes. Now, if he doesn't get ultra aggressive here with a 3-2 count, he won't swing at a pitch away after seeing those breaking balls. But if the hitter wants to make something happen and he's aggressive, he'll expand the zone on a 3-2 count, which is somewhat neutral, right?
Rosario takes his lead at second as Fisher brings a 3-2 to Volpe. Stays alive. Another 3-2. This time he got him. 3rd strikeout of the game of Volpe. The lefty Brennan Little getting ready.
He tried to save that late with his hands. Ball was obviously by him, but this crowd has been standing for a while.
It's Austin Wells, the 9-hitter. It was Wells who popped it up into shallow left field. In the 4th inning, what looked like it was going to be the 2nd out of the inning, no big deal, but dropped by Addison Barger. Walked to Trent Grisham after that, and then the home run for Judge. Checked his swing, and it's 1-1.
It's funny, early in the season there was so much talk about the bats, right? And I don't care what you have up there. I don't care if it was legal to have 3 times the size of barrel. If you can't keep that barrel in the zone, you're not going to hit it.
Nasty breaking pitch. Yeah, Wells is one of those guys that broke the internet first couple days of the season. They scored those the back-to-back games, 10+ runs, 32 runs in 2 days against the Brewers. He had a couple home runs.
Yeah, how about that? How about the start of the season for the Brewers and then where they're at now?
Yeah.
It looked like, oh, they may not be ready. Oh, they're ready.
It takes 162 to make you honest. Same can be said for the Blue Jays. Ground ball right side that gets by Guerrero. Here comes Rosario. Santander's throw, no chance. Throw to second late. No, they say that he's out. Wells says, I don't think so. I don't really either, but maybe we're both crazy.
I don't think they
used both challenges, and so that's going to be the call.
That's why that was such a tough second challenge that didn't win.
Run does score as he gets by Guerrero. The tide has turned. The Yankees have scored 7 straight. This was the big swing from Jazz. Yankees music try to extend their season. Seven unanswered for the Yankees. 8-6 in game 3. An inside ball one on Andres Gimenez. 9-1-2 for the Blue Jays coming here. A couple of Yankee stars connect on their first home runs of the postseason. And running out of time to do it. Got not led before Chisholm's home run. Had one and the 2-out hit from Austin Wells. And you're going to have David Bednar potentially for more than an inning. Hasn't pitched yet in this series. Advantage Yankees at this point in what has become dueling bullpen games. Jimenez down the line foul.
Well, this really should be his last hitter, you would think. Springer coming up, but maybe he'll go batter to batter. He's got some action in the pen right now.
He struck out first guy that he faced. He's got Jimenez and then Springer and then Schneider's after that. Here comes Judge again to pick it off. Good first step, and then Aaron Judge for the first out. So one more to fulfill the minimum for him. I'm not seeing too many smiles crack through there like he just did from Aaron Boone, whose team has been in this spot before, has faced elimination before. Springer takes the ball and has responded. Really down in the standings. This game has kind of mirrored the season, has mirrored the Yankees coming back at the end of the regular season. And then doing it to the Red Sox in the wild card round. Tell you what, though, this looked like a runaway train. It looked like the Blue Jays were never going to slow down.
Well, 6 runs. They got a great record. And they also have a great ability to come back. Really the most comebacks in Major League Baseball this year with 49. So they're relentless at the plate, and they just got to find a way to keep now this Yankee last 3 innings scoring 7 runs.
2-2 on Springer.
There's an eternity left in this game.
I didn't read the headline about getting rid of the pitch clock.
I tell you what, it's
chopper to short. Volpe. Springer's 0 for 4. Wear what the players are wearing on the field during the postseason. You can check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Go to MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear. Davis Schneider. And they will let Hill face him. Trying to get all they can out of Tim Hill with a 2-run lead here. And we saw Devin Williams is ready to go. They've not used either of their top guys in this series, in Bednar or Williams. On one pitch, He's going to get Schneider. Bellinger backpedals to put it away. Top of the order coming up for the Yankees, leading this game 8-6, trying to force a game for tomorrow. Brendan Little is the fourth reliever to come in for the Blue Jays, trying to be the first one to put up a 0. Fluharty, Varland, Fisher all giving up at least a run. Little pitched a scoreless inning in game 1. And he'll face Trent Grisham, who's doubled, walked, and scored twice. Shows bunt and takes a strike. Aaron Judge to follow. 3 for 3 with a home run and 4 driven in this game. Kenny, what a night and what a postseason it's turning into for Judge.
Absolutely, Joe. And here is more evidence that the home run by Judge was one of the more amazing you will ever see. This year, regular season and postseason, there have been 528 pitches on 0-2 counts thrown out of the zone at 99 miles an hour or above. 528, that was the first home run.
Oh. He does things that mere mortals don't.
We're going to get a chance to show you why I think it happened. And show you the pitches and why he's standing even taller than he is right now.
What a gift it is to be a baseball fan in this era with Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani, with somebody like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. doing what he's doing. Grisham into center field at Varsho. Statcast 3D is powered by Google Cloud as Judge comes to the plate. Here it is, sitting off that foul pole. And you see the pitch location up and in, and he still found a way to hit it 373.
Well, they're going to walk him. So how things have changed. I'm going to tell you why I think that success Aaron Judge had. I want you to watch the fastball that goes over the middle of the plate. And he swings. It's a good swing, but he's a little bit late. And then he's like, okay, I'm on that one. Just missed it. And by speeding up his bat a little bit, see where the pitch was. If that's higher, he doesn't do that. But because it was at the height of the other pitch and he was getting the barrel of the bat to the ball quicker, that, I believe, is why he was able to get that ball in the air, not hook it, and have that moment.
This intentional walk you're talking about, it's the 17th time that John Schneider has put him on in his time as a manager. Bellinger into right center field. Santander with a diving try, can't get it. And it gets to the track where it sneaks by Varsho. Judge stops at third, Bellinger to second. That, by the way, is the first time the Yankees have come up with a hit after the intentional walk to Judge over those 3 seasons.
Well, this ball has such top spin going down. This ball is diving hard, and as he dives, the ball just gets down quicker than he anticipates, and that's why it went underneath his glove. He took a good angle, but this ball is just screaming down more than it's carrying.
Defense has deserted the Jays a bit tonight. Would have been a tremendous play, but certainly a topic of discussion. Normally so good. He's had a hand in the Yankees coming back. 1 ball, no strikes on Ben Rice. Connor Falefa had the air in the first inning. Barger had the air in the 4th inning. And now Santander, heck of a try, but he comes up empty. Rice takes ball 2.
Well, Schneider's really in a tough spot. I mean, the game is close. It's 8-6. You feel like if the Yankees get a hit here, it's going to change the pitchers selections moving forward because of the resources you're going to need for tomorrow.
Golf to right center field. He went down to get that ball and lift it to Santander to get home a run. Good piece of hitting by Ben Rice to make it 9-6.
When a guy throws almost 50% breaking balls, if you stay on the ball thinking down, even if it's not a breaking ball, you're able to stay there, head down, and lift the ball in the air. And that's what he needed.
Yeah, and another change coming. Trying to thread that needle, keeping this a close game, but not throwing away tomorrow's game.
Something after the break, I want to talk about what the Yankees have seen.
Coverage of Game 4 between the Mariners and the Tigers will start at 2 o'clock Eastern, with the Mariners trying to punch their ticket to the championship series. And then back over on the National League side, Brewers and Cubs, Phillies and Dodgers will be at 7 o'clock Eastern if the Yankees hang on here and force a Game 4. Yariel Rodriguez makes his first appearance in this series, and I want to let you finish what you were saying. They're going to break as he delivers to Stanton. Strike one.
What seemed like an insignificant scenario when the blowout was happening in Game 2. Remember, Yankees got a chance to get 7 runs back and face a lot of relievers. Well, some of those relievers they've faced again today, and if they win the game, they're going to face again tomorrow. The more you see the relievers. So it wasn't insignificant, those 7 runs and the opportunity the Yankees hitters got.
Check swing in front of the plate. That's fair ball. Kirk down to first. That's the inning. Yankees get another. They've scored 8 straight and lead 9-6. I got a couple defensive changes for you. Ben Rice is out of the game. Paul Goldschmidt comes in at first base. Jose Caballero does the same at third. In for Rosario. So just 2 players left on the Yankees bench. Jason Dominguez and J.C. Escar, the other catcher. Devin Williams, who has figured things out down the stretch. And back into a high leverage role. Faces Vlad Guerrero Jr. and pours in a strike. This is what they expected he would do when they got him from Milwaukee this offseason.
Fastball, and what he's known for is that incredible changeup that just never gets there.
First appearance of this series for Williams. He had 2 scoreless innings in the wild card round. He's put up zeros in 19 of his last 21 games. One of the best relievers in the National League for years over in Milwaukee. His 1-1 to Vlad. Upstairs, ball 2. Eight hits in the 3 games for Vlad Guerrero Jr. Homer, intentional walk, single today. Two balls and 2 strikes. Vlad Jr. starting the 7th. Flips it into shallow center field. It'll be Volpe or Chisholm. They come together and Chisholm makes the catch. Woo. Well, we take a look at Fox Foresight, powered by Google Cloud. Blue Jays have 24% chance of scoring 3+ runs the rest of the game. You mentioned the most comebacks in baseball this year, and a franchise record 49 comebacks. Kirk, after the 2 home runs in Game 1, is 1 for his last 8.
If you're Williams, you don't want to leave that change up middle into Kirk. That's that swing path that he loves. He got it down at least. He threw that change up, but the ball went down, and only one place really to hit that was foul.
Williams to Kirk 0-2.
On the flip side, the Blue Jays haven't seen the high leverage guys for the Yankees because there hasn't been no situations other than in the regular season down the stretch. So Aaron Boone's hoping to have plenty of opportunities to use those guys for the foreseeable future. Wow, now that's close.
That was really close.
Almost impossible to get in this booth, but that was.
If we had reached out, we could have done some fan interference there. Reached out over the playing surface. Caught it right there.
Yeah, it was close.
Catch it, Rick. Another 1-2 pitch from Williams. Kirk fouls it off and stays alive. That's 2-strike hitter out there. Neither starter made it through 3 innings in this game. When you look at the bullpens, Toronto's given up 6 runs in 3 1/3. The Yankees have given up no runs in 4 innings. Fly to right center field. Grisham on the run to the edge of the track. He's got it. Sort of on the run. More saunter. Hey, we want to say hello and best wishes to Terry Harrison, all-star graphics operator who is at home recovering. All of us thinking about you, Terry. Can't wait to have you back. Can't wait to see you sooner rather than later. 9-6 game. Yankees ahead of the Blue Jays. It was 6-1 Toronto. Varsho with 2 out. Had 6 runs over the first 3 innings, and it's like, here they go again. They're going to do double digits again, it was looking like.
Yeah, and again, you know, it's a little bit misleading, but 13 runs in the last 2 games off the Blue Jays bullpen.
Yeah, we've had the 7 runs get things going towards the end of game 2. And at the time it was like, no big deal, but you touched on it. You forced other relievers into the game. Maybe you got some momentum as hitters. The 1-2 pitch from Devin Williams. Got him. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 7th for Williams. And we stretch at Yankee Stadium as the Yanks try to force a game 4, keep their season going. It was 6-1 Toronto after a few innings in this game. The Yankees tying it on the Aaron Judge home run, and they now lead 9-6 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Judge hitting .500 in this postseason, having himself a heck of a game today. He's already got 11 hits in this postseason. He's matched a career high with the 4 RBIs tonight. His 3 hits already has tied his postseason career high. He was doing everything besides hit the home runs coming into this game. Well, he's gotten that too, and he just might have extended the Yankees season.
Yeah, I said yesterday, or the game 2, there's no moral victories. But I think there is, when you think about what the Yankees have been through. 7 runs and they were getting blown out. On the verge of getting blown out again. Right. You can hang your head. This crowd was getting ready to probably unleash some boos. And here they are with a 3-run lead. So momentum, narratives, all things you got to change and block out in a short series.
You know, it's kind of a hidden hero in this whole thing. He got blasted, but Will Warren covering the last 4 2/3 of that game. That's another sneaky one that is playing a role here. You're getting these guys coming into the game for the first time, these top relievers.
I'm telling you, there were so many things that I picked up in that game, and I know Aaron Boone, probably when you lose and it was an ugly game, you don't look at those things. But if you're able to come back and force a game 5, win this game, win the next game, those things start creeping back and go, to your point, yeah, those are all important.
And the defense for the Blue Jays opening the door a little bit in this game. It had been such a strength of theirs all year. First inning, first Yankees run came after this from Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. This was the big one. This is what allowed Judge to come up as the tying run for his home run. Santander had a great effort. Couldn't come up with that. Snuck by Varsho, and then a sacrifice fly brought in another. Blue Jays are looking at having to play a game 4 tomorrow. Make your voice heard. You can vote now to select the 2025 All-MLB team presented by MGM Rewards. Your chance to be part of history and honor this season's top performers. Terms and conditions apply. Go to MLB.com/AllMLB for details. This is Yariel Rodriguez. Now, the one thing John Schneider has done is he's used a bunch of relievers, but none of them have thrown more than 20 pitches. And so preserving all these guys' ability to at least contribute a little bit tomorrow. As Chisholm opens the 7th, takes a strike. And he has told us that Trey Savage could be in play tomorrow.
Yes, he could. Look, we knew going in the Blue Jays were going to be a little shorthanded in their rotation. No Scherzer, no Bassett. Made some decisions based on the Yankees and what they possess in the lineup of left-handed hitters, so they chose some left-handed relievers. But they're not going to fret. It's not like they're down 2-1 if they lose this game. They're still up 2-1, but to your point, a little bit of pitching chaos tomorrow.
Ball 2 on Chisholm. And it was Judge's home run that tied it. It was Chisholm's home run that gave him the lead. Two and two. Kenny?
Here's a thought for you guys just to consider. Do you use perhaps Kevin Gossman tomorrow in some form on 3 days rest rather than your Savage on 2 days rest, and then if there's a potential game 5, you have your Savage on normal rest to start that game at home? Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that'd be a little much. That might show a little panic. You know, I hear the premises.
Towards left center field. Schneider's there.
But then you're asking one of your best starters to pitch on short rests and then throw the young kid into a winner take all if he had to. But I just think that the Blue Jays in their plan of attack has worked perfectly until tonight. And it's just one game, so they're ready for just about anything.
First at bat of this game for Paul Goldschmidt. Came on defensively last inning. Started at first base for a lot of the year. Ceded time down the stretch to Ben Rice. And has only started one game in the postseason, but he's 4 for 7 when he's had his chances. Former MVP with the St. Louis Cardinals. Somebody make a good play.
Oh, MVP catch in the upper deck. Oh, man.
Oh. With a glove?
No, just straight hand up, ball in the hand.
Barger. 2 out. And a quick word from Strauss.
From the fields we farm to the fields we play, work wins the game. Strauss and Major League Baseball. Gear for any season.
And Justin Brule, who is probably the last guy on the roster beginning to warm, it shows you that John Schneider is starting to line things up for tomorrow. Volpe has struck out all 3 times. tide has turned in the strikeout column too. Blue Jays have actually struck out more times than the Yankees have. 8 for the Blue Jays, 6 for the Yanks.
That's in!
Ground ball left side. Barger stabs it. And one of the strongest arms in baseball gets it over there to finish off a scoreless 7. Well, the Blue Jays and the Yankees playing in the division series. 162 games is not enough to decide it between these teams. 94 wins apiece, tied in the regular season. Blue Jays took the division with the head-to-head tiebreaker, and it looked like they were going to cruise to a sweep here in this division series. But the Yankees, 8 unanswered runs with their season hanging in the balance. Second inning of work for Devin Williams. Ernie Clement leads off for the Blue Jays. And takes high. This game has kind of been representative of the season race, because yeah, they tied, but it was big swings one way or the other. Yankees way out ahead in the first half. Blue Jays came flying past them midway through the season, and the Yankees charged back late.
It would have been incredible if Toronto was able to keep the Yankees lineup at bay throughout the first 3 games. And it sure looked like that was more probable than not, but give the Yankees credit.
Clement through the left side, and Ernie Clement is 4 for 4. Blue Jays not dead yet. Leadoff hit for Clement here in the 8th. What a roller coaster it's been for these guys. Below 500, 8 games behind the Yankees 2 months into the year. A 10-game winning streak midseason that included the 4-game sweep against the Yankees in Toronto to take over first place. Would not lose it, even though they did everything they could throughout September there to hand it back to the Yankees. But they've won their last 6 games, the last 4 of the regular season, the first 2 of this division series. They were the only team in the American League that hung on. Yeah, the Tigers watched their 11-game lead in September disappear. Astros had a 4-game lead, wound up missing the postseason for the first time in a decade. Jays, it's a 4-game winning streak to finish and win the tiebreaker. Their first division title in a decade. Tommy Nance.
Ball.
You wonder how long before you would see how much it would take here for the Blue Jays to see one of the top arms get up in the pen. If John Schneider would shift that strategy, does that take a full-on comeback, or does that take just a little bit of a threat here?
Well, when you basically only have 3 starters on your roster for this, you got 10 relievers, so they can keep coming out there one after another.
Here's a 2-1. Santander takes strike 2.
The changeup that Williams throws is more like a screwball, and what that means is that pronation of the pitch and the speed and the unbelievable tilt and downward action away from the left-hander is what he's been so known for.
Ball, no.
Checked his swing. Count is full.
matter what happens here, he's got to make the Blue Jay hitter put it in play. A walk would just be a huge rally momentum for Toronto.
Got him with a fastball.
That works too. He really stayed on top of this fastball.
Oh, he said that Aaron Boone could go to David Bednar for more than an inning. He's going to look for 5 outs from his closer. Yankees up 9-6 with a runner aboard here in the 8th. Blue Jays had 6 runs over the first 3 innings of this game. They have not scored since. The Yankees have gone off, lead 9-6. David Bednar pitched in all 3 games in the wild card round, making his first appearance of the division series here.
Tremendous strikeout to walk ratio and multiple innings save here.
Taking over the closer duties after coming over at the deadline from Pittsburgh. 7 out of his last 7. And looking for a 5-out save here. Barger down the line foul. He's an all-star with the Pirates back-to-back seasons, 2022 and 2023. Then last year had a 5.70 ERA. It just completely went away. Early on this season, it was so bad that they sent him to AAA. Came back up and has been back to that early career form. His 0-1 pitch. Bouncing ball gently to second. The only play for Chisholm is at first.
Well, for the Blue Jays, they would love nothing more than to get a 2-out hit here, and at least, if not any more scoring. The 9th inning brings in a little bit of tension with Guerrero looming.
Clement, who started this inning with his 4th hit of the day, is at second. And the hitter is Andres Jimenez. Ball. This Yankees bullpen after Carlos Rodon gave up 6 runs in 2 1/3. 5 1/3 scoreless. Cruz to Doval to Hill to Williams and now Bednar. Is 1-0 in for a strike. Easy play for Paul Goldschmidt. And they pitch around the leadoff hit. Coming up after the game, stay tuned for the postgame show on FS1, presented by Strauss. Recap both American League games today. The Mariners beating the Tigers, now on the verge of winning that series, advancing to the championship series. Austin Wells takes a strike from Tommy Nance, who takes over for the bottom of the 8th inning. Nance, who's with his 4th different organization. First half was in AAA, came up at the All-Star break, and he's had the best ERA on the team since coming up. 34-year-old fires, and Wells pops it foul. Trying to keep it right here. The Jays have the top of the order coming up in the 9th inning. If they can hang on, Cam Schlittler ready to go for the New York Yankees after 8 shutout innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks in the clinching game of the wild card round.
Yeah, what a game.
Similar to Savage, not much of a background. Schlittler started the season in Double-A. Had made 13 starts at the major league level before doing what he did to save their season. And as a Yankees fan, they'd sit there thinking, my gosh, we get swept. going to leave him on deck. Base hit into right center for Wells. Second hit of the day for the Yankee catcher. It was the first start in postseason history. 8 scoreless innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks.
Yeah, and it was one of those games where it never looked like there was anything in doubt, right? He just was in command, composed, and throwing 100.
Back to the top and Grisham. Ball. And how about we may have Schlittler and Savage thrown at the same time tomorrow. Nathan Lucas, by the way, is in the game in left field, replacing Davis Schneider. So Lucas will be due up second next inning.
Ball 2.
2-0 on Grisham, who has helped change things for the Yankees today. He came in 1 for 8 in this series, but he's doubled and walked and scored twice. Top 2 in the order have scored 6 runs between him and Judge.
That's out.
Been in these situations before, and what you say afterwards, if the Yankees are able to win this game, you just collectively go, bring your suitcases, because our goal is to make Toronto go back home and play another game. And a lot of that work still have to be done, but
that would be Friday night. And it would be Kevin Gausman against Max Fried, you would assume. (3-1). The Blue Jays scored 22 of the first 23 runs in this series. Since then, the Yankees have outscored the Jays 16-7, starting with what felt like kind of a meaningless little 7-run burst there. Fly the other way. Lucas going back, backpedals to the edge of the track and grabs it. And it'll bring up Aaron Judge. And they will stand to show their appreciation. You think he's good in the regular season? How about Aaron Judge in the postseason? .524. And that OPS off the charts. Chopper along third. Barger with a running throw to get him. First time he's retired today. But if you happen to just tune in and say, wait a minute, Aaron Judge hits in the postseason? Well, yeah, it's been a lot of singles, chipped in a double, and then this to tie the game in the 4th.
incredible. That ball stayed right down the line.
It had to feel like time froze for him as he watched that thing go down the line. The whole postseason narrative hanging in the balance as it's slow motion towards the foul pole. And it did stay fair. And it did change everything for him and the Yankees. They put Bellinger on intentionally here.
Yeah, that became the fair pole. Foul pole means you missed it. And it went left of it.
First and second for Caballero.
That's out.
Trying to get some insurance going into that 9th inning. At the top of the order coming up, Springer, Lucas, Guerrero. David Bednar looking for a 5-out save. Caballero known for his speed, and he's brought that to the Yankees, but he's also brought a much better bat than he ever showed in Tampa Bay. versatility. He's played 5 different positions. And an edge that Aaron Boone talks about loving.
Well, for a team that really was struggling in the series with runners in scoring position until really when they got way down, they've 10 for their last 17. Going back to that latter part of game 2.
And this is the more varied attack that the Yankees showed really over the last month of the regular season. As a team, they hit 290 with runners in scoring position the last month. It was not just the home runs. And they've had the 2 home runs today, but they have 11 hits total. Caballero hurt something on that swing. Again, they're down to just J.C. Escar, the second catcher, and Jason Dominguez. If Caballero were to have to leave this game, they'd have to play some gymnastics in the field.
Well, even if he couldn't swing because of his left hand, I'm sure he could still play the field. But it looked like it was his left hand that tweaked or wrist. You'll know it's bothering him if he lays down a bunt here on a 2-2.
Although he could reach his speed. Punches one right side and through. They stop Wells. Santander was playing very shallow, so he's on that ball quickly. And they're loaded up for Stanton.
Just slaps it the other way. Big hole there. Seems like more guys could do that, but he had the perfect approach.
Stanton pops it up. Who wants it? Clement. Here we go to the 9th inning. David Bednar against the top of the Blue Jays order, trying to get this to a game 4. His bullpen that gave up 14 runs over the first 2 games of this series has fired 5 1/3 scoreless innings tonight, and David Bednar tries to finish it off. Top of the order for the Blue Jays. A strike on George Springer. Strike, and the Jays got to be thinking about getting these first 2 guys on here. Give a shot to Vlad Guerrero as the tying run. Springer, Lucas, and then Guerrero. Top comeback team in baseball this year. They're in position to have to come back because they're looking at potentially their biggest blown lead loss of the season. They led this game 6-1.
And this would be the largest comeback in Yankees history in an elimination game.
One away in the 9th as Bednar strikes him out in the splitter. Everybody's got one. And he learned his from the master, Hideo Nomo. It's an advisor down in San Diego when Bednar was a minor leaguer with the Padres, and he said, hold it like this. Lucas came on defensively last inning. 2 out of 6 at the plate in this postseason. Shanks it foul. As the Blue Jays start to think about a bullpen game tomorrow, they use 6 relievers today, but none of them threw over 20 pitches. Look out. So you've got probably everybody available again tomorrow, and then Eric Lauer, who is a converted starter, to give him some length. Top guys Jeff Hoffman, Sir Anthony Dominguez didn't use today. Those guys will be fully rested, can give him an inning plus. And where does Trey Savage come in for John Schneider? Bednar's 1-1. In for strike 2. No question about who's taking the bulk of the game for the Yankees.
It's a great feeling to have when you're really hoping your team can come through so you can get another chance, right? When you're down, facing elimination, that next day starter's at the mercy of his team, and then
2 gone in the 9th. And out away from giving Schlittler his chance. The boos are for Vlad, who did it again tonight. He's homered in all 3 games in this division series.
yeah, he might be slumping. He
Yeah,
made it out.
Made it out his last time. What's wrong with the guy? Eight hits in 3 games for Vlad Jr. We're an hour earlier tomorrow for Game 4. 7 o'clock Eastern. Here's a 2-0. Ball a little bit high. David Bednar's 3-1 pitch to Vlad Guerrero Jr. is swung on and missed. 3-2. 6 over the first 3 for the Jays. 9 through the middle innings for the Yankees to save their season. Fouled off. Right off his foot. Back foot. Diving stop by Caballero. Game 4 tomorrow night. The Yankees have life. And it was their star. It was the MVP that breathed it into him. A 3-hit night for Aaron Judge, including a 3-run home run that tied the game at 6. And Aaron Boone's club comes from down 6-1 to win it 9-6.
Yeah, we talked about in the open about flipping the script. Really, what Toronto had done well all series, that New York had to flex their muscles, and I didn't know it was going to take a 6-1 deficit for that to happen, but it did. And the offense and the team gets a chance one more night to force a Game 5.
Well, they knew just win one game and it all changes. The Yankees not just alive, but with Cam Schlittler trying to build off one of the most dominant postseason performances we've ever seen. And a bullpen game countering for Toronto. How about this last out for Caballero?
Pulled it on the ground. And a great play. And a happy crowd.
On a day where the Yankees had the clear edge defensively. My, oh my, things can shift fast.
Change the narrative.
Speaking of, take an exhale. Their season's still going. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Aaron, your game-tying 3-run homer came on an 0-2 pitch. The pitch before, you swung through a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. At that point, what were you thinking?
Got to get the job done, you know. It's just, you know, foul off a slider, swing through a heater. Try not to think too much, you know. I've done all my homework. I know what they're going to try to do. You know, go out there, have some fun, put a good swing on something, and, you know, kind of see what happens.
Now, the pitch you hit was in, it was off the plate. Watching it fly, did you think it would stay fair?
You never know. I've never had one like that right at the foul pole. You know, thankfully the Ghost kind of took that one over and kept it fair for us. That was a nice one.
You said the other day that you were just trying to pass the baton. Tonight, you guys are facing elimination. Did you feel like you had to do more?
We've been facing elimination all season long, you know, even especially at the end of September where, you know, we're fighting for a division. We got to win every game. It felt like an elimination game every single night, and then especially going into the wild card, lose the first one where, you know, now you got your backs against the wall. It's just, there's no panic in this team, you know, especially in the first inning. You know, 2-run homer by Vlad doing his thing again. The boys stayed locked in.
Tomorrow, game 4, Cam Schlittler for you guys. They're throwing a bullpen game. You're still down 2-1, but how do you like your chances?
We just got to keep playing our game. Just, you know, it's going to be a battle. They're going to be coming out fighting and clawing just like we are. Just stay focused on one thing. It's just, you know, try to win every pitch. That's it.
Aaron, thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, 9-6, the final score. There will be a game 4 in the Bronx tomorrow night. KB, Alex, Poppy, and Derek in the studio for more postseason coverage.
I feel like it was a momentum shifter, the game changer, you know, the whole series changer right there.
Your home run obviously broke the tie. You're 3 for 17 in the postseason going into that at bat. Circling the bases, what's going through your mind?
Man, I was just happy I got to do something to help my team win. You know, just trying to help my team as much as I can. That's all I was thinking. You know, we just need to get this win and keep on moving forward.
That bat flip, it was kind of a bat chuck. How would you rate it?
I wasn't even really locked in. You know, I just hit it and it just went out. But, I mean, I'd give it a 10.
You've been saying since September this was the best team in the American League. The Yankees were the best team in the American League. Do you expect that to be proven out the next couple of days?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to show you guys why we're the best team in baseball. And I mean, it just shows when it's time to go. It's like there's no give up with this team, and we're always here to battle until the last out.
Jazz, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Kevin, back to you.